Elon Musk, the co-founder and CEO of Tesla, is the richest person in the world with a net worth of $223 billion as of February 2022. Behind Musk is the founder of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, with an estimated net worth of $178 billion. That's a number that's quite hard to get your head around. So let me put it this way. Elon Musk's personal fortune is larger than the GDP of 80% of countries around the world. That's one man wielding the equivalent riches of a nation, and a fairly big one at that. This is a level of wealth no one could conceivably spend in a lifetime, no matter how expensive their lifestyle might be. Seriously, Elon Musk is 50 years of age at the time of recording this video. For the sake of making a point, let's assume Elon Musk is going to live to be 80 years old. In order to use up all of his $223 billion before he died, discounting interest, he would need to spend almost $20 million every single day for the rest of his life. That's well over 12 times the average income an American makes over their entire career every single day for over 8,000 days in a row. But here is something interesting. While Elon Musk may well be the richest man in modern times, he isn't the richest human being ever to have lived. In fact, remarkably enough, if you adjust for inflation, he isn't even close. The individual who holds that title is estimated to have been in possession of almost twice the size of Elon Musk's wealth, and larger than the fortune of Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, and Jack Ma combined. The funny thing is, despite his position in history, there is a very good chance you've never ever heard of this man. That being the case, let me introduce you. This is Mansa Musa, the ninth Mansa of the Mali Empire and the richest man in history. By the way, I should point out that Mansa is a job title rather than a first name. It means emperor or sultan. Mansa Musa's personal name is Musa, the Arabic form of Moses, meaning saved from the water. Mansa Musa ascended to power in the early 1300s under unclear circumstances. According to Musa's own account, his predecessor as Mansa of Mali, presumably Muhammad ibn Qu, launched 2 expeditions to explore the Atlantic Ocean, 200 ships for the first exploratory mission and 2,000 ships for the second. The Mansa led the second expedition himself and appointed Musa as his deputy to rule the empire until he returned. But when he did not return, Musa was crowned as Mansa himself, making a transfer of the line of succession from the descendant of Sonjata to the descendants of his brother Abu Bakr. Much of what is known about Musa comes from Arabic sources written after his Hajj, which is an annual Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca. Musa made his pilgrimage between 1324 and 1325, spanning 2,700 miles. His procession reportedly included 60,000 men, all wearing brocade and Persian silk, including 12,000 slaves, who each carried 1.8 kg of gold bars, and heralds, dressed in silk, who bore gold staffs, organized horses, and handled bags. Musa provided all the necessities for the procession, feeding the entire company of men and animals. Those animals included 80 camels, which each carried 23 to 136 kg of gold dust. Musa gave the goods to the poor he met along his route. Musa not only gave the city he passed on the way to Mecca, including Cairo and Medina, but also traded gold for souvenirs. Musa made a major point of showing off his nation's wealth. His goal was to create a ripple, and he succeeded greatly in this. So much so that he landed himself in Mali on the Catalan Atlas of 1375. Musa embarked on a large building program, raising mosques and madrasas in Timbuktu and Gao, most notably the ancient center of learning, Sankore Madrasa, or University of Sankore, was constructed during his reign. It is recorded that Mansa Musa traveled through the cities of Timbuktu and Gao on his way to Mecca and made them a part of his empire. when he returned around 1325. He brought architects from Andalusia, a region in Spain, and Cairo to build his grand palace in Timbuktu and the great Jinguereba Mosque, which Mansa Musa paid for with 200 kilograms of solid gold, still standing today, and makes up part of Timbuktu University, for a time one of the world's premier seats of knowledge, boasting 25,000 students and the library of 1 million books. That's more than were held in the Great Library of Alexandria. News of the Malian Empire city of wealth even traveled across the Mediterranean of South Europe, where traders from Venice, Granada, and Genoa soon added Timbuktu to their map of trade manufactured goods for gold. Musa has been considered the wealthiest human ever, though some sources have estimated his wealth as equivalent to $400 billion. His actual wealth is impossible to accurately calculate. Contemporary Arabic sources may have been trying to express that Musa had more gold than they thought possible, rather than trying to give an exact number. Furthermore, it is difficult to meaningfully compare the wealth of historical figures such as Mansa Musa, due to the difficulty of separating the personal wealth of the monarch from the wealth of the state, and the difficulty of comparing wealth in highly different societies. Musa may have brought as much as 18 tons of gold on his Hajj, equal in value of over $957 million in 2022. Musa's Hajj has been regarded as the most illustrious moment in the history of West Africa. Musa's reign is commonly regarded as Mali's golden age, but this perception may be the result of his reign being the best recorded by Arabic sources, rather than him necessarily being the wealthiest and most powerful Mansa of Mali.